Jealousy is a powerful emotion that can poison our minds and hearts. It can make us unhappy, angry, resentful, and even violent. It can ruin our relationships, our careers, and our self-esteem. How can we overcome this destructive force and find peace and harmony in ourselves and others? One day, a young monk asked his master, "Master, how can I free myself from jealousy? I always feel envious of those who are smarter, stronger, richer, or more successful than me. I can't help but compare myself to them and feel inferior and miserable." The master smiled and said, "My son, you are suffering from a common ailment that afflicts many people. It is called the green-eyed monster because it makes your eyes see everything in a distorted way. You only see the good qualities of others, but not their flaws. You only see your own shortcomings, but not your strengths. You only see the differences, but not the similarities. You only see the gap, but not the bridge." The master continued, "The green-eyed monster is a liar. It tells you that you are not good enough, that you are lacking something, that you are incomplete. It tells you that happiness and fulfillment depend on external things such as wealth, fame, power, or beauty. It tells you that you need to compete with others, to surpass them, to defeat them. It tells you that life is a zero-sum game, where one's gain is another's loss." The master said, "But the truth is very different. You are already good enough just as you are. You have everything you need within yourself. You are complete and whole. Happiness and fulfillment depend on internal things such as wisdom, compassion, gratitude, or joy. You don't need to compete with others, but to cooperate with them, to support them, to learn from them. Life is not a zero-sum game, but a win-win game, where one's gain is another's gain." The master then gave the young monk a simple exercise to practice every day. He said, "Whenever you feel jealous of someone, do this. First, acknowledge your feeling and accept it without judgment. Don't deny it, or suppress it, or criticize yourself for it. Just say to yourself, 'I feel jealous of this person.' Second, try to understand why you feel jealous of this person. What is it that they have or do that triggers your envy? Is it their intelligence, their strength, their wealth, their success? Third, try to see the whole picture of this person. Don't focus only on their good qualities or achievements, but also on their challenges and struggles. Remember that they are human beings like you, with their own flaws and difficulties. Fourth, try to cultivate compassion for this person. Don't wish them harm or misfortune, but wish them well and happiness. Imagine how they feel and what they need. Fifth, try to appreciate yourself and your own qualities and achievements. Don't belittle yourself or your efforts, but recognize your value and your potential. Celebrate your strengths and talents and be grateful for what you have and what you can do." The master said, "If you do this exercise regularly and sincerely, you will gradually weaken the power of the green-eyed monster and strengthen the power of your true self. You will see yourself and others in a more balanced and realistic way. You will feel more confident and content with yourself and more respectful and friendly with others. You will realize that jealousy is a waste of time and energy that only harms you and prevents you from growing and flourishing. You will discover that there is enough room for everyone in this world to shine and thrive." The young monk thanked his master for his wise advice and vowed to follow it diligently. He began to practice the exercise every day whenever he felt jealous of someone. One day, he had an opportunity to test his progress when he went to the nearby town with some other monks to collect alms from the villagers. He saw many people who had more material possessions than him: houses, clothes, food, animals. He also saw many people who had more social status than him: merchants, officials, nobles. He even saw some people who had more spiritual knowledge than him: scholars, teachers. He felt a twinge of envy in his heart. But instead of letting it grow and consume him as before, he remembered his master's words and followed his exercise. He acknowledged his feeling of jealousy without judging himself. He understood why he felt jealous of these people, because they had something that he didn't have or couldn't do. He saw the whole picture of these people, not only their advantages, but also their disadvantages, not only their joys, but also their sorrows, not only their strengths, but also their weaknesses. He cultivated compassion for these people. He wished them well and happiness. He imagined how they felt and what they needed. He realized that they were not his enemies, but his friends. He appreciated himself and his own qualities and achievements. He recognized his value and his potential. He celebrated his strengths and talents. He was grateful for what he had and what he could do. He noticed that his feeling of jealousy faded away and was replaced by a feeling of peace and joy. He felt happy for these people and for himself. He felt connected to these people and to himself. He felt free from the green-eyed monster. He realized that he had finally freed himself from jealousy.